Joining us now, Pinal County, Arizona Sheriff, he's Mark Lamb. Sheriff, it's great to have you back on, and thank you for your service to our country. We see these similarities, right? You see the Homeland Security Secretary in the White House, they keep saying we did not expect the rapidity, the speed with which the border is collapsing in Del Rio, and they said the same thing as about Afghanistan. And they also said both of these issues were under control. Your reaction to that?
Well, they're in over their head. I mean, they should know the answer to these questions. We've been saying as sheriffs that this problem would get this bad if they continue down this road of these poor policies. And you know what? It's not surprising that we're at the point we are now. They should have the answers, and it's disappointing that they don't. That clearly shows that they're way in over their head.
You know, Sheriff, you do have 4 House Republicans introducing articles of impeachment against President Biden. It includes Brian Babin and Andy Biggs. You know, we have the media focus on, mounted officials on horses using split reins. They did not whip anybody. They were swinging the reins around to deter a migrant from getting closer in order to control the horse. We see that in New York City, too. Police officers on mounted horseback do the same thing. You know, your reaction to Biden's former Border Patrol Chief Rodney Scott. He's a 29-year career law enforcement officer. He wrote a letter on 9/11. It's now surfacing to both Senators Chuck Schumer, Mitch McConnell, Senate Homeland Security, saying, hey, transnational criminal gangs are purposely blowing out the sides of the bridge camp to distract Border Patrol in order to push drugs, human trafficking, even terrorists across the border. Your reaction?
Yeah, this has been their tactics all along. This is what they do. They bring unaccompanied minors. They bring families. They bring caravans in. The cartel loves this because while Border Patrol and ICE are busy dealing with them, they're pushing military-age men and drugs like fentanyl and methamphetamines into communities across this country. And as to the work they were doing on the horses, that is such a difficult job. They did the best they could with the resources they had, pushing back thousands of immigrants in that area, and then only to be attacked by your own government and the people that should be thanking you for the work they've done. I want to thank the Border Patrol. They've done an outstanding job. Shame on our government for not having their backs.
You know, we hear you loud and clear. We've been covering the story for about 5 years, and we've heard the same thing from border officials for some time now. Rodney Scott alleges the White House and Homeland Security Secretary that they're misleading Congress and the public, that they're intentionally eroding border security. He's saying declassify all information on the number of individuals caught that were in the terror screening database. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree, because they'll never do it. They should have to come before the American people and tell them how bad this problem really is, because they have been lying and lying and lying to the American people. They continue to do it today by saying they're not releasing these Haitians into our communities, which they absolutely are. This has just been a disaster all along. We're sheriffs. We're tired of it. Border Patrol's tired of it. ICE. These people just want to do their job. Hopefully the American people come support us sheriffs at protectamericanow.com. Stand with us as sheriffs as we try to protect our communities.
You know, there are 308,000 gotaways. That's what Mr. Scott is saying by August of this fiscal year. I mean, people would say, oh, this is tinfoil hat, hysterical talk. But 19 terrorists, only 19 terrorists did 9/11. They overstayed their visas. Multiple terror attacks around the world committed by just one person. Shouldn't we be on a forward footing here?
Absolutely. In the Yuma sector alone, they had people from 97 different countries that have been apprehended there. And they've had almost 20 people from high-profile countries, which are Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Bahrain, Qatar, those countries. That should be alarming. Like you said, it didn't take a lot of people to orchestrate 9/11. And every day we run the risk of letting more and more terrorists or people with bad intentions who do not love America like we do into this country.
You know, to your point about White House misdirection, we keep hearing it, right? Mayorkas said the border horse incident was not a problem. Now he tells MSNBC he's horrified. He's saying that the border is not open. Migrant crossings are at a 21-year high. They say there's no crisis. 15,000 people are sitting under the bridge in unsanitary conditions. And by the way, 25,000 more may be coming. The population of Del Rio is only about 35,000. Jen Psaki saying they don't intend to stay. Associated Press saying they're releasing them into the U.S. by the thousands. And Jen Psaki today again blamed Trump for inhumane conditions. Your take on all of this?
Yeah, that's such poor leadership. Look, I'm a leader of an agency, and when we mess up, we have to own it. We have to take responsibility for it. I don't get a chance to blame the old guys. That's what they need to do. They need to take responsibility, but their pride won't let them. And frankly, they don't know what to take. I think they're in over their head, or they are purposely creating such chaos in this country. And I have no other choice but to believe that they're trying to destroy this country. And that should be alarming to every American out there.
Sheriff Mark Lamb, it's quite a thing to say, but, we're going to stay on. We hear your frustration. We understand it. But, we hear the same thing from Border Patrol because they just don't get it. They don't understand why they're not upholding the laws. Go ahead. Final word.
Yeah, the proof's in the pudding. Look, they continue to not shut down the border. They didn't do anything over there in Afghanistan. We've got so many people coming into this country. We have no idea who they are. The economy's being destroyed. They're forcing Americans to do things they don't want to do. It's a complete disaster right now. We're frustrated, and so are the American people.
Sheriff, thanks for your service to our country. It's good to have you on.
Thanks, Liz.
Sure.